Attention climate wimps. Yes, you. You know how you marching on the streets didn't accomplish anything? Sorry, there's probably a more tactful way of constructing that sentence. Please accept my most deep and sincere sucked in. Now, before you click off, what if I told you that there was a way that you could exert far less effort than you put into those crap signs that are worse than most Year 1 art projects I've seen in my life, while being responsible for giving Australia 100% renewable energy? All while setting yourself up for a very comfortable retirement, while those suckers who believe that climate change is a UN conspiracy will be relegated to those scary retirement homes you see on 60 Minutes, where they belong. Sounds too good to be true? Well, 3 words for you: shut your gob. Now that I've asserted dominance, I've got 3 more words. Switch your super. In 2018, UTS conducted a study that concluded that even if the Liberals were in power until 2030, and let's be honest, they will, only to be replaced with an out-of-the-blue resurgence of Family First and One Nation forming a coalition called First Nation, but even if the Liberals accomplish their wildest dreams of completely removing all renewable subsidies Labor set up under Rudd, even if they kept the criminal and annual $29 billion of taxpayer-funded subsidies they're doling out to the fossil fuel industry, all of that chicanery would come to naught. Why? Because renewables are cheaper than coal. No, that doesn't sound particularly impressive because Doors at Doors Plus are cheaper than coal plants, but think about it this way. Oh, that's a way! Nah, we have fun, don't we? Renewables are so cheap that they're the first power grid in human history that could be built without government subsidies. In fact, you know how much of your super would need to be invested in renewables to give us a grid that is 100% powered by them by 2030? Just 7.7%. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh no, that's a few 100,000 people. However will we convince a few 100,000 people to fill out a form that takes less time than it does to advertise vintage Fitzy and Whipper poster for sale on Gumtree? Particularly when 84% of us want action on climate change. Not that you'd know that from our election results, but even if most of these people were saying they wanted action on climate change for the meme, the number of people required to switch their super for this outcome would be less than the amount of people who marched in the climate protests. Why hasn't this happened? Because the propaganda is strong. We've all been sold a big lie, and that is... Valvoline.
You know what I mean.
No, John Laws! That ad's 30 years old now, and I still don't know what you mean! The second big lie is that 100% renewable energy is impossible. Honestly, haven't these people ever heard of... It's happening across the globe right now. It's a very strange form of impossible. I have a 40-minute video called Codeblock, all source debunking all the lies pumped out by the fossil fuel industry that are then filtered through every mainstream media outlet in the country, all for the purpose of making your dad smugly scoff,
Yeah, solar panels. What happens when the sun isn't shining?
oh no, the world's smartest engineers and grid operators hadn't thought of that. Good point, man, whose mud flaps almost certainly have pictures of Yosemite Sam on them.
Well, what about all the jobs that are killing bloody coal?
What, the ones that are done by T800s now? What about them? The renewable industry creates 10 jobs for every one it destroys in the coal sector. Why are you denying them well-paying, stable, non-black lung-inducing work? A bird in the hand is worth 10 in the bush?
Yeah, because those turbines will kill those 10 birds. Like a bloody aeronautical meat grinder.
Energy that costs next to nothing, or in many circumstances nothing, will bring back tens of thousands of jobs that we lost to countries like China, back to where they belong. Cities riddled with meth heads. Not to mention the trillions of dollars of economic activity it'll bring. No country on earth stands to profit from the renewable revolution more than Australia. It'll give us that stupid United Arab Emirates level money where we start thinking, why don't we build a massive dome around Uluru just to make it snow? Yes, like a big snow globe. They don't want you to work on it, whiskey. But wait, there's more. Not only will it make the country stinking rich, but you stinking rich with it.
Disclaimer, Friendly Jordies is not a financial advisor.
Now, at this point of the video, I have to stress, for legal reasons, I am in no way a financial advisor. If I had a stock portfolio, it would probably consist of magic beans and futures in Tamagotchis. Oh no, another one shot itself to death. My nest egg! Now, having said that, look at the returns! Again, this is not me saying it, this is for legal reasons Owen Wilson saying it.
Wow.
Fossil fuel investments have lost Australian super accounts billions over the last decade. Environmentally conscious super funds have not. They consistently outperform fossil fuel funds. Look at the results during COVID. Ethical super funds trounced every other super fund, and the super fund that invested the most in renewables outperformed every fund in the country. What fund is that? Future Super. I'm not paid by them. Wish I was. Cheapskates. But they're really doing transformational stuff. They only have 15,000 members. There's more stock photos of fake mustaches than that. Yet with less than the population of Kempsey, in just 1 year, they built enough solar panels to power 9,000 homes. How much more effective is that than yelling, "Scummo's a wanker"? Answer, not that much more effective. I built an entire career off it. Donate to my Patreon! But imagine if they had 150,000 members. They'd be able to power 90,000 homes a year. If everyone who marched in the climate protest switched, not only would you be defunding a bunch of fossil fuel projects that are probably going to go ahead because of your money, you'd be responsible for powering 180,000 new homes each and every year, and that is a ridiculously unrealistic estimate because those are only the panels that Future Super directly build. We're not even talking about the various renewable funds they put your money into that would completely dwarf that number. You couple that in with the fact that thanks to Kevin Rudd setting up the Clean Energy Finance Corporation a decade ago, while Labor premiers like Palaszczuk, McGowan, Andrews are building renewables like mad to the point that even if they got voted out and we do nothing, Australia will still be powered by 50% renewable energy by 2030. All you have to do is build the other half and then keep building so we turn into an energy superpower, as Australia basically is just a giant frying pan waiting to be heated up. Psst. And I'm the Daintree Rainforest. Just a little bit of mold that grew on the side of it. You can put us on the fast track to reducing Australia's emissions by as much as 85% simply by spending as much time as you spend thinking about what movie you'd like to illegally download. And to save you even that time so you can focus on switching your super, I'll answer it for you. Shanghai Nights.
Wow.
The other 80% of Future Super's money goes into sustainable farmland, environmentally responsible products, clean transport, recycling, all industries that have consistently proven to be more profitable than their polluting alternatives. So what I'm telling you is, and I don't want to steal Captain Planet's thunder here by stealing his tagline, but hashtag whoops.
The power is yours.
Our country's press can continue to bamboozle about 51% of the beer swillers into voting for a government that is as corrupt as it is incompetent and therefore is criminally denying us trillions of dollars of investment to appease a small donor class. But to the other 49%, I say, we don't need them. After switching your super, I want you to send a nice thank you letter to Mr. Keating because thanks to him, the platitude that you vote with your wallet is actually true. Thanks to his super reforms, we can govern ourselves. If just 7.7% of our super money could build the nation's electric grid, imagine what even 30% of this nation's super money could do to solve waste, extinction, food security, land clearing, reef degradation, all while making you more money than you currently are with your lame coal-groping super anyway. So here's the next easy step. You ready? You paying attention? Subscribe to my page. Come on, I'll be sharing with you even more easy steps that you can take to not only make serious cash, but also properly protect Australia's unique ecosystems. That's all. That's the only reason I want you to subscribe. No ulterior motive. I don't call me friendlyjordies for nothing. Come on, try and say no to that face. After that, like this video to push it further up the algorithm, share it around because most of you, unless you're really into Slipknot, know at least 30 people. If you get 30 people to switch to Future Super, you'll be responsible for taking $1 million out of fossil fuels. Think about that. Just one post, especially if you're one of the hottest chicks at your high school. You could be responsible for wrangling $1 million out of fat, sweaty mining magnate hands like Clive Palmer's, which I honestly don't know what would upset him more, that or melting a Tim Tam in front of him. Stop! Stop! So to those of you who say that collectivism doesn't work, I say, and this is really witty, you ready? Shut up. You've tried marching on the streets, now try sitting on your ass. Switch to Future Super today. Moral infomercial. Just to reiterate, I'm not paid by them. Voluntarily moral infomercial. Get clicking, cucks.
What? Please share and comment below. Comment.
Simply by spending as much time as you spend thinking about what movie you'd like to illegally download. And to save you even that time so you can focus on switching your super, I'll answer it for you. The Real Cancun, Norbit, The Mummy Returns, Chicken Run, Norbit 2, the Australian classic Crackerjack, Thunderpants starring Rupert Grint, The Man Who Sued God,